Good day, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, what is your name?
My name is Akande Adigbola.
Yes, I remember you told me you will come to show me your fish farm,
Yes,
and we are here today.
exactly.
And so, what are you going to do this morning?
At this point, I have just successfully discharged the water, and I've replaced the water, and I'm about feeding the fish so that they can also be happy instead of disturbing the environment with their noise. So at this point in time, I want to feed them, and they are already patrolling. If you can see, they are patrolling, waiting for the food to drop.
It's okay. Let's see how they feed and attack the food. And of course, these pellets in this your custard bucket, indeed there are many. I also feel like eating them. Maybe it's not for human consumption, but however, whatever it is, after the feeding, I'm going to ask you some questions.
All right. At this point in time,
Wow, this is quite interesting. How do you feed them? Do you feed them every minute? Do you feed them in one hour, or do you feed them once in a day?
ordinarily, like every human being, you don't eat every time. The human being eat 3 times a day. Some can even afford to eat 5 times, depending on their pocket. But with the economic situation of things in Nigeria, we have programmed this fish over time that they will eat nothing less than average of 10 naira per day. So that also brings to our knowledge that if we are putting in 1,000 catfish and they have upgraded up to 1 kg level, like these ones now, some of them are 3 kg, some of them have upgraded to 4 kg. You must give them 10 naira. They are 10 naira consumption per day. So whether you choose to give them in the morning or you give them in the evening, it all depends on your pocket. We cannot afford to be feeding fish all the time. For example, now these fish that you see here now, they are purposely programmed as a brooder stock. They are brooder stock. We want to use them to multiply, to hatch, as they say in fish parlance. So these fish now, some of them are already 1 year old. So we have programmed them that they must eat average of 10 naira per day. It used to be 4 naira per day before, but as the situation of things in Nigeria, the feed has already gone up. The price of fish has gone up. So what we are trying to do is to also reduce their consumption rate, just like human being. If you are eating 4 times because of the economic situation, you also reduce your consumption to 2 times. Like in my family now, I eat 2 times a day. I eat in the morning and I eat in the night. I jump up to conserve resources.
Okay, so now this fish pond and rearing and maybe brooding of fish, all the Greek languages that I think would be desired, are there problems?
There are challenges. Like fish have their own disease. They have their own shortcoming. They have their own disease. Disease in the sense that if you do not know, your fish can be dying. For example, if you overcrowded can kill fish. When you lack of food, if you don't give your fish food, they will cannibalize. They will attack themselves, and in the process, you will lose fish. And that is why sometimes if you don't feed your fish regularly, these fishes, at the time you discharge the water, assuming you are using tarpaulin like this one, you will see carcass. This carcass is an evidence that something has gone wrong. The fish has killed themselves, especially when they injure themselves. Once there's a element of blood, the other people will see it as food. they will attack that fish and make sure they bring it down to their feeding level. But the challenge now is you must feed your fish as at when due. You must make sure that you feed them. You must make sure they are not overcrowded. For example, this 10 by 20 feet, it has capacity of taking 2,000 catfish to maturity, to table size level. What I mean table size level, at least minimum of 1 kg. 2,000 can contain this 10 feet by 20 feet by 4 feet deep. 2,000 catfish can comfortably stay there without challenge. As you can see now, our brooder stock is inside this tank. The head pond is there. Maybe as time goes on, we will also expatiate on that.
Okay, now when we talk about the expansion of the pond, this one is indeed not the one that is dug. It is something that is covered with tarpaulin. These things must be very costly to at least put up. So how do you go about it?
Yeah, the cost of production is just like what they taught us in economics in the secondary school. They call us land, capital, and entrepreneurial acumen. Over time, this cost can be subdivided. For example, a man who has 500,000 naira cannot go and start a project of 10 million naira. You stay within your capacity. For example, now, if I have 500,000 naira, I will go for a tank of maybe 4 by 4 by 4 feet deep. I will start with the average of maybe 100 catfish. Then I will also find a space where I will dig ground, where I will be discharging my water. Because in some area, for lack of gutter or where to discharge your water, your neighbor will not tolerate you to discharge fish water on the street. So you find a way of excavating another earth pond where your water will be discharged. Inside this earth pond, you can put your fingerlings there. And the one inside the earth pond, they look more healthier because God has created it naturally. The ground is supplying them oxygen. There are other elements of food they can also accumulate over time inside the earth pond. For the tarpaulin, you must feed them because there is no extra. In the tarpaulin, you must give them food. In the earth pond, God has a way of supplying them food because the earth also will be recycling. Like earthworm will be in the earth pond. Earthworm, fowl shit, other bird you can fall into the earth pond and it become their feeding. You can also throw cuckoo beans. With cuckoo beans, remnant of garri can fall into that place and then the fish will take it as their menu.